Hi, I'm Chase Garbarino.
And I'm Greg Gomer, and this is the BostInno Beat. As you can see, we're back on the wagon. However,
On the wagon.
shout out to our friend Dave McLaughlin for being so generous with the kegs.
This was all that was left.
This was it. We're on the wagon.
This is it.
We film once a week. All I wanted was this beer today, and that's all I got.
I think like the big perk of a co-working space is the beer, right?
That's about it.
This is it. Come on, Dave.
Big bummer.
Well, obviously we're having some problem, and sometimes happens with live television.
Let's talk about RoboCop.
Oh, hell no.
We'll do it live.
Big one this week. Huge one. The only bit of real news out of the Boston tech community, our little tech community,
ever.
all summer. Big shakeup at HubSpot about an upcoming book release. Mike Volpe was fired for cause and for some fishiness and his aggressive tactics, these are all quotes, on trying to obtain a manuscript or a transcript of the book prior to its release. The book in question is from Dan Lyons, who actually worked at HubSpot for about a year or so. Brian Halligan was also sanctioned, called it a stinger to the wallet, which is an interesting way to rephrase it. And Joe Chernoff resigned prior to anything that may or may not could have happened to him. So Volpe was considered the third co-founder, and that's a quote from Halligan. This is huge news for Boston.
Yeah, this is tough because Mike Volpe, what we knew of him, the guy bled orange.
Bled orange.
Loved HubSpot.
Yeah.
I believe he was in charge, talking to some folks, he was in charge of bringing Dan Lyons in.
He was.
Dan, allegedly, according to some people, basically came to work at HubSpot and would just sit in meetings and I guess take notes on what was going on.
Feverishly take notes.
What surprises me the most of this is, one, why would you hire a journalist, period, at HubSpot?
They do love
a tough
content,
move.
but I hear you.
That's a tough move. Two, wouldn't you paper him out the wazoo that he couldn't essentially write a book?
They had zero confidentiality agreements.
That's a tough move.
Until now.
I don't mean to be the
Thankfully they have that.
hindsight here is 2020, but writing a book that's going to affect the employment of a lot of people in a super negative way, unless HubSpot was truly doing some really bad things, you have to be a weasel to,
You gotta be a
to
weasel.
do that. You gotta be a weasel to do that.
But you have to imagine that there's some stuff in that book that some folks at HubSpot never want to see the light of day.
This is the best thing that could have happened to Dan Lyons. That book comes out, not that many people buy it, I bet.
Nobody wants to read a
Now,
book.
maybe
No
not.
offense, no one wants to read a book about HubSpot. It's kind of boring. Yeah, IPO, whatever. Now, it's got best-selling material written all over it.
It's a tough situation.
Making moves this week. On a lighter note, we got some awesome moves coming. Uber is launching UberPool, which will allow two people going in the same direction, two randos going in the same direction, share the car ride, share the cost. What they want to do is they want to rival public transportation, get the cost down super low.
Yep.
Not a fan. As it is, I'm kind of weary of riding with an UberX, some other stranger. I do it all the time. But now I'm going to get in the car with some other stranger. Now it's two strangers I'm riding with?
Yeah.
No.
I like it specifically because I didn't buy Airbnb when I first heard it.
I still don't buy it. I think it's sketchy.
But it works, so I'm guessing this is gonna play.
Yeah,
I like it.
Not a fan.
I like it.
In the community this week, huge stuff.
Maybe the biggest community thing we've had yet.
Next week,
Next week.
Boston Fest.
That's
the
right.
biggest event
That's
of the
right.
summer.
Biggest.
It's here. So it's a week away.
Just an absolute teardown.
It's a rip down, tear down. We're talking live music, games, huge networking opportunity.
Yeah.
These guys are all hiring like crazy. DraftKings is a sponsor. They're hiring like crazy.
Yep.
Applause as well. Car Gurus. I mean, never mind them going for coolest companies. They're going to be there no matter what with booths. Huge event.
Yeah.
Next Thursday night. Oh, and just a week away, in the written portion of this email, there's a little beat flash code, a little discount on the tickies.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. We'll see you next week.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
Unwanted feedback this week from a guy named Dave.
Dave.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, we wrote a little bit about bubblicious times. And
Bubblicious times.
Whether there was a bubble or not.
Well, there were some fun numbers,
Yeah.
some VC numbers, a lot of payouts, a lot of realizations from LPs.
Yep.
A lot of money going
LPs are
around.
making money from VCs, which is a good sign for startups raising cash. Basically is what we said.
Yeah.
A guy named Dave wrote in and said, we said something very similar to this in Silicon Valley in the late 90s. Enjoy them while they last, but all parties end at some point.
Triptych.
Did you say that, did you generally say that money was going to LPs, or did you actually look at the real numbers like we did? Boom, roasted. Because we did look at the real numbers. And a lot of money is going back to LPs.
That is not what I expected
Yeah.
as a response to
Well,
Dave.
I mean, it's just kind of a vague response.
Yeah.
So what I will say is that these are definitely heady, frothy times right now.
A lot of free money.
Nothing like the dot-com bubble. Not even a little bit. Late stage private valuations are sky high, definitely. But real revenue, real companies being built, not the same.
Thanks for writing in, Dave.
Money, 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 must be funny.
One more bit of news this week. We actually have two more treats, gems to chew on this week for bit of news. Actually, this one is just terrible. Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog have split up after 40 years. The power couple, television's power couple, has split up. What kind of message does this send to youth? Relationships don't matter, divorces are okay. I get it was some marketing ploy for the new television show or whatever it is. This is terrible.
Maybe frogs and pigs. It's tough to make it work. I don't know, dude.
Whatever. I'm not a fan. Also, on a much better, funnier note, a minion, my favorite little guys, caused a massive traffic jam in Dublin this week.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Cool.
Thanks for coming out. Ready, man? Woo! I'm ready. Woo! 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 Get fired up.